Good evening, good evening, good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. Um, Today as Monday, I'm starting a new session where I'll be coming live. Yes, I'll be coming live almost Mondays, Mondays and Sundays and good evening, guys. Good evening, also, guys. Today, and also as I was saying, I'll also be coming live, or pretty much every day. I'll be coming live, provided that diary allows. So what the purpose of the session today is to answer, or to answer some of the questions that I got on some of the social media platforms. And you are more than welcome to also interact with me and say something on the comment section and say, hi, Shilly Boy, and we get the ball rolling. So I'll appreciate if you can do that and speak to me on the comment section. So as I was saying, yes, as I was saying, I'm trying to adjust a few things, and we take let's say good evening, and let's get the ball rolling. So this will be pretty much our live session. So what is the question number one that I want to actually answer? Someone asked me, can you donate a property to a family trust, and what is the tax implications, basically? So now this person is asking a simple question: can you donate a property to the trust, family trust? The answer is simple: yes, you can. However, if this person wants to donate this property to the family trust, then we all know that donation tax will be applicable, right? Correct. So will more likely to be applicable, the donation tax. So we don't want this person, but I think also it also goes back to the risk appetite of an individual, because some people might feel that they don't want to be dealing with too many of administrative issues, and they just want to do an outright donation, and as a result, they end up paying the donation tax, knowing that then going forward they don't have to be dealing with certain compliance and issues when it comes to administration of a trust. So to answer your question, Jacques, yes, there will be more likely donation taxes. Okay, so if you're watching us, you're more than welcome to share the link with others. As I mentioned, that I'll be coming live almost every day from 7:30 to 8:30. Just happened that today I started late because I had to run out of meetings, but I had to come and announce that, yes, I'll be going live almost every day from 7:30 to 8:30. And then once we are done with that, we go live on TikTok also until we get into late hours, right? So we're going to be having fun. We're going on a journey of education until the end of the year. December, we don't work. December, we're going to rest. So don't expect me to be live in December. So say hi to me, say good evening to me, and share them on my comment section. Share the YouTube channel with your friends. Tell them that Shilly Boy is here answering questions. If you've got questions, I see some people are watching and joining me. Please ask me questions also. Interact with me. Ask questions on the comments, and I'm going to read them and answer them. So it's basically questions session. Let's go. Mpo says, what if the properties are under a trust? What will the tax be on them? Okay, how is that going to affect the original owner? So basically, the question is coming. Let me give you a background story. So this person was renting out multiple properties, right? Having renting out multiple properties, and they decided, Mpho is asking, what if I then transfer these properties into the trust? What will that have an impact, or actually, what will be the impact on the original owner? So the issue here is that once someone has restructured their portfolio and they moved their properties into what do you call these things, into a family trust or a trust, then from going forward, the trust is the one that is liable for income tax in the most cases, unless the anti-avoidance provisions are applicable. It gets more complicated. Let's assume everything else is equal. So the chance then the trust will be the one that is being taxed. However, I always say when it comes to tax planning point of view, rather a trust should be the last person to be taxed. You prefer that the beneficiaries are the ones be taxed, and also in some cases the donor, if some of these properties were donated or there's anti-avoidance provisions that requires us to allocate money to the original owner, then failure to do that, then it will be the trust that is liable for income tax point of view. But however, guys, if you're going to move your properties underneath a trust, make sure that you do an efficient tax planning and you know that in this particular property, this is how I'm going to move money on a regular basis, on an annual basis. Okay, good evening, guys. Interact with me, ask me questions. We are here until 9 o'clock. So be nice and say hi. But then going forward, guys, I'll be live from 7:30 until 8:30. And I want you to be asking me questions in those interactions because it's more about questions. But if you don't have questions, I'll be having certain questions that other people are asking me in other social media platforms. Don't forget to like if you are enjoying my content, and share the videos with your friends. Please, if you can, like these live sessions if you are finding it valuable, and comment also on the comment section. Ask me questions or even say good evening to me. I mean, just be nice and say good evening. How was your day, guys? Talk to me. How was your Monday? And was the Monday productive? I'll appreciate if you can have with me those questions. Okay, so as you know, I'm gonna move to the next question. Ruli says, if we move the properties to a company, can the incommunity of property apply to the couple? I'm not sure the question though, and I'm gonna try to dissect the question. When you're married in community of property, would you agree with me when you're married in community of property that the wealth, the joint estate that you have will be shared equally? I think that's the starting point. Now, let's say you are married in community of property and then you're making money through property. The joint, it means 50-50. You and your spouse, 50-50, you own 50-50 of those properties. Even if they're registered in Shiliboy's name, my wife will still be entitled to 50% upon divorce and upon my death. That is just a reality as it stands, right? That is provided that we're married in community of property. Let's say they then decide, no, Shiliboy, we listen to your structuring, we listen to your advices every single day. We are like your passion when it comes to property investing and structuring and tax planning. We, however, feel that we want to leave something for our children. And as a result, we are going to structure this in a basic, simple way where there is a company, okay? And we form a company. So they forming a company say their purpose for doing that is to ensure that there's a continuity upon their death. Now, Ruli is asking me the same question. Well, then the nature of them being married in commutable property still apply to them? My answer is simple. If they own, even if it's one person who owns the shares in that particular company, yes, it will apply because they own the shares directly. The one spouse owns the shares directly. Then as a result, that income property will still be applicable. Okay, so that is the simplest answer. However, you may find that these partners now, the shares of that company is owned by a trust. Will the income property still be applicable? No, more likely no, as long as that trust is run and is administered with proper caring. Okay, I see someone commented. Thank you so much. For those who might be watching, please don't forget to like what I'm saying. If you don't like it, just say thumbs up. If you like it, say thumbs up, and be like Witumela and ask me questions. Let's interact, guys. Let's make these live sessions more interactive. And as I said, I'll be coming live almost anytime after 7:30. But because, you know, sometimes we get so busy that as long as I'm available after 7:30, I'm going to jump in and be live. So like and share the YouTube channel with your contacts, with your family, friends, and then we get, let me see what Witumela is saying. Wouldn't it be more cost effective if you put the property in a trust and whatever business you run, in most cases rentals, in whichever form, and run that business through a company? As I said, Witumela, I was actually explaining this question. If you heard me properly, I was still going to say, then you find that other people will do a simple structure where they own the trust. Witumela, I think another thing we need to also qualify is the fact that each person has a preference on how they want to hold their wealth. And I think that's what makes consulting difficult for some of us. Because you'll speak to someone and someone says, listen, Shiliboy, I understand all this risk, I understand about the cost effectiveness of running things and having a trust and things like that. But as Shiliboy, I want to own these shares directly. I want to be in charge of my wealth. So can you see with email, such kind of a person with obsession, with control of something, would you agree with me that person, you can't really persuade them to actually own, to have a trust that owns the company? They're just going to push back. You understand? So you also need to be mindful of something like that. That there are people who prefer certain things. I mean, I know people who will go like, nah, man, I just want to have a company, and then upon my death, I'm taking an insurance product that will cover all these expenses that you are talking about, Shiliboy. So why should I be having what do you call a trust? So it's a matter of personal, but as long as you know the risk of not having this trust. Also, if you are having a trust, you know the risk of not doing a proper trust administration, because it also requires an individual to have a proper trust administration. Are you answered, Witumela? Let me see if Witumela is answered. Are you answered, Witu? Let's see if Witumela is answered. Guys, if you enjoy my interactions, can you please like if you like, and share my live sessions. Like I said, we're going to be up until 9 o'clock because I need to jump off at 9 o'clock. Okay, now let's see. When I'm still waiting, I'm waiting for questions, guys. Be like Witumela and share with me questions. As I'm waiting, let me see. Ruli says, if I move the properties to a trust, how much can I pay per month for the trust? Okay, so you're welcome, Witumela. Witumela says, thank you. Yes, he's covered. So be like Witumela and ask questions, and let's interact. Let's make it more fun. Let's make the learning curve fun, and let's enjoy about creating wealth through property investing, and at the same time, preserving this property through tax planning and estate planning. I cannot stress enough the importance of doing tax planning in the property space. As I was saying, By the way, be like Witumel and ask questions, and I'll jump between the two gadgets to try to see if I can answer your questions. Okay, let's keep going. Ruli says, if I move the properties to trust, how much am I paying per month for trust? I think here Ruli is talking about the administration, trust administration. So in the main, guys, the cost that will be unique that you would have them because as a result of having a trust are in the main the cost of the trustees, because you are hiring people to run your business, if you think about it. So think of the administration cost as sort of salaries for the smartness of the likes of Shilipo to come and run your business. You have to pay someone to run your business. The reason why you've got trustees are there to help you to run your business. So pay them. Isn't that fair? You pay them because they're bringing value. You don't pay them because they're just sitting there and sleeping. And I think that's why I always challenge people not to look at the trust or the administration cost from the point of the cost without also comparing to the value they are getting. If you're not getting value, then fire those people and hire people that gives you value. It's as simple. If Shilipo doesn't give you a value, fire them. Really, you can fire Shilipo and get someone with value. Okay, thanks so much for joining us. As I said, if you are enjoying the session and interaction, please press like, give me a thumbs up and say, yeah, I like what you're saying, Shilipo. I like your teaching, and share the live, share my YouTube live with people. Like I said, I'll be live every day, almost after 7:30, provided times allows, except Thursdays. Thursdays, I normally on the road going to the studio during that time. So Thursdays, except Thursdays, that I'm all outside. So can you ask guys, be like Witumel and ask questions under the comments sections? I'll appreciate if we can have the questions under that. So Neo says, hi, if someone gets an unsecured loan, is it possible over time to go back to the bank to request lowering or recalculation of the interest rate? I think the simplest answer is negotiate, negotiate, negotiate everything. I negotiate almost everything. So I think for me, ideally, these guys are in business. If they're making money, they will rather not negotiate with you for lower interest rate. But the reality is that there's nothing stopping you to actually go back to the bank and say, listen, I'm not happy with the interest rate. I'm a good payer. I've been with you guys. I took even a bond. I took this with you. As a result, I think you guys must consider lowering some of the interest rate on some of the accounts. I know people who consolidate debts and they put them under various accounts. Some they even call it a universal bond amount or universal loan accounts. And then as a result, they end up getting favorable interest rates. So at the end of the day, it's a matter of negotiating, negotiating, negotiating. Okay, we see Post jumping on. Post says, if your property is under a trust, does it mean it's safe from marriage in community of property? They can't be attached. I think let's start them, Paul. I think what we're saying is when properties or investment or wealth is owned by a trust. Remember, a trust, no one can own a trust. And I think that's the starting point. So typically when there's a divorce, what gets shared? What gets shared typically, provided everything else is equal, what gets shared is a joint estate. Would you agree with me that if the property is sitting in a trust, it's not owned by you guys, it's not part of the joint estate. So you're more likely that during the divorce or death, the trust assets are not going to be part of the divorce settlement. Do you get it? That's everything if everything else is equal. What do I mean when I say if everything else is equal? So I mean that if you've been running your trust administration with efficiency and proper, then such can actually be seen also as independent from you. But we know that some of you guys run trust as if it's yours. You do as you please. You do use things as you please, and you end up actually blurring the lines in such a way that we don't even know if there's a difference between Mpo and Mpo Family Trust. So I think that's where I'm going, Mpho, to answer your question. Okay, are you answered, Mpho? Talk to me if you're answered. If you're answered, I'll see by you giving me a thumbs up, and then I'll know that Mpho is happy. Okay. Now, if Mpho is happy, can give me a thumbs up and say, "Yay, I'm happy, Shili boy. You answered me." If you're not, you can give me a thumbs down, and then we'll try to answer you. Okay. So now let's keep going. If you've got questions like Boitumelo and Mpho and the rest of these Jacques and the Mphos of this world who are asking questions, you're more than welcome to do so. As I said, we'll be here until 9 o'clock, and then we will see each other on other platforms. Okay, as I was waiting for question, I answered the one for unsecured lending. And then I got another question. Okay, Gary says, can bonded properties be moved from your personal name to a company? The simple answer is yes, they can be moved. So now what typically happens, guys? What typically happens is that, there we go. Mpho is happy with the answer. We like that. We like that. I'm looking at the questions on my other gadgets. Let's just see before I answer that question. Before I answer that question, let's see. Okay, so now where I was going with that, I'm trying to see that the question from Gary about the bonded properties, guys. If your properties are bonded, right? What the banks typically do, they will want the bond to be settled. By the way, we are hosting Christian Johnson tomorrow. I'll be having these type of questions with him. And this is one of the questions that you can also pose to him, and then he's also going to be in a better position because he's a bond originator. Okay, now what typically banks will do, they'll want you to cancel the bonds. If you think about it, you still can transfer the very same property into either a trust, Gary, or for that matter, even a company. Then what you then do is to then be a director on the other side, and then stand for surety to transfer that property. And then the bank will say, it's fine, we can cancel the same bond. If we had a bond of R5 this side, then we can transfer it on the other side. Should you not want to refinance the property, then it means we can just keep it as that R5 bond. That's pretty much how they end up solving the issue. Okay, so if Gary, you're happy with me, if everyone who's watching, they are happy with my question or the way I answered, I will appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up and say, yeah, Shili boy, we are happy. So can I see more likes, guys, and you sharing the live session? As I said, those who just joined us, guys, I'll be live in most of the days except Thursdays. Thursdays, definitely I won't be live because I'm on the road during that time. So I'll be live from 7:30 in the main until 8:30. Provided obviously if there are no other emergencies, it can't be cut in stone and say hold me accountable for that. Okay, now let me see if Boitumelo is coming back, and that will be the last question because we're gonna have to knock off at 9. Boitumelo says, if I purchase a property through a company, what's more advisable, to purchase more property through a different company, or purchase them with the existing company that owns the first property? It's actually a very interesting Boitumelo, but there's no right or wrong answer. I'll tell you why. Number one, it also depends on how are you financing that property. If you're buying this property and you are co-partnering with another person, would you agree with me that you're more likely going to ring-fence that property in a different company? That's the scenario number one. Scenario number two, it might be that that other company, it does not qualify for whatever reasons, and then as a result, you start a new company and then you stand for surety in the other company so that you can get a new bond. That could be the reason. Number three, it might be that the risk profile are different. I'll give you an example. You may find that you are buying land. Land is a property. And you buying the land, you're still going to develop that land. The development risk are different to already existing multi-let. So you cannot just assume the fact that you're going to do multi-let, then you want a lump bid. What if that project goes south and then the contractors sue you? How would you feel about them attaching your existing stabilized multi-let? It's not something that you're going to appreciate. Would you agree with me on that? So as a result, what would you prefer? You would rather prefer that that you ring-fence it differently. For that matter, you may find that you are in Airbnb in one property and the other one is in multi-let. The risk profile are different. So the risk profile also is an issue. That is another thing. So there's always various vectors that you need to kind of consider before you actually jump on a property investing. You don't just go around buying. You need to ask yourself your business model, your business plan. You need to question things like that. And then at the end of the day, you will be able to get the ball rolling. Okay, Widumel, are you answered? I think you were pretty much one of the last. If you're answered, say so, and then we call it a night. How about that? Are you answered, Widumel? If you're not answered, I'm here. I can answer the question for you. If you're, oh, there we go. Widumel is happy. Thank you so much. Thumbs up. I like that. More thumbs up on the YouTube, on the button, on the bottom there. Please give me more thumbs up. We can call the sessions, guys, as property investing and taxes. So it's question sessions every day from 7:30. Join us. Share the link with your friends. I'll encourage you guys, share the live sessions with your friends, right? Would you agree with me that you're going to share with them this content and so that they learn? Share with your property investors. If you ever need help, I can be WhatsApped. I think let's do this. If you ever need to, let's do this. If you ever need to speak to me, you're more than welcome to use my WhatsApp number. That is on the thing on the comment section. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna share my WhatsApp number. Dineo Charles Matsete says thumbs up. Cool. I think it's Dr. Dineo. Oh, okay. My WhatsApp number, guys. Let's see, 074589664. Only WhatsApp, don't call. Only WhatsApp. Okay. Share the content and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, 7:30. I'll try to be on time. 7:30. Let's keep learning. If you don't ask questions, guys, I'm gonna sleep on live and you can watch me sleeping. Okay, good evening, good night.